The developments in Minneapolis are amplifying the debate over a bill at the state capitol.
And today, California lawmakers passed a bill that would make it easier to sue federal agents. KCRA 3's Ashley Zavala here in the studio with what this bill could mean. Ash.
Golston, this bill, what California lawmakers call the No Kings Act, still has a ways to go at our state capitol. Now, because the United States Supreme Court over the years has narrowed the ability for people to sue federal officers, Democrats in California say states need to step up. State Senator Scott Wiener wrote the bill, which would specifically make it easier for people in California to sue federal officers for violating their constitutional rights. The Senate passed this on a 30-10 party line vote today. The law, as written right now, does not specifically name ICE or other federal agents, applying to all officers, I should say. So local and state police groups worry how this could impact them, worrying that it could expand their liability and make them vulnerable to even more lawsuits. Republicans rehashed this argument today, while Wiener denied this would increase local officer liability. Here's some of what was said during the floor debate today.
The rule of law still exists. California is not going to let these thugs get away with it. We're not going to let them overrun our communities just because they think they can. They can't.
We wouldn't have this chaos. We didn't have it under Obama or Clinton because we didn't have these sanctuary city and state laws. And so it'll become all of us if we dial down and start talking with each other.
What is happening is that every Joe Blow who failed to be a police officer, who failed to be in the military, be armed now and is trigger happy, who is getting triggered by just a bird chirping next to their ear, and then they shoot.
Protecting civil rights and supporting law enforcement are not mutually exclusive. Unfortunately, this bill offers a false choice that is going to do nothing but hurt our law enforcement communities and the communities we were elected to represent.
The bottom line is that both parties are at fault for the disaster that we're facing here in our country today. And I'm standing up as the most conservative Republican on this floor, most likely, telling you that both of our parties have a problem with this issue.
I would just hope that as the bill moves forward, we make sure that we're holding on to that trust at the local level, and that we're listening to them and trying to come up with solutions. And by the way, not just to local law enforcement, but just to our state and local employees writ large. You know, we need allies right now. But what I don't want to happen is for this administration to somehow turn this against us and turn us against our own people.
The bill now heads to the State Assembly for hearings and a full vote there. Even if everyone gets on the same page and it fully passes out of the state capitol this year, lawmakers fully acknowledge that the Trump administration, the federal government, would likely sue and challenge this in court.
And so what's the governor saying about this?
So with some of these police groups holding off, and he has not said, to answer your question, he has not said anything. I did reach out to his office today asking if he had a comment. They said he typically does not comment on pending legislation. And while, yes, that is oftentimes the case, he's basically signaling he's not ready to say anything here.
Yeah, because sometimes he does comment.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley, thank you.